Welcome back, guys. Discount Tools here with another unboxing / review. We're going to test out this M12 Fuel half-inch stubby impact wrench, model number 2555-20. It's tool only. Also got the boot, stubby impact wrench boot number 49-16-2554. This guy will also fit, looks like, your 3/8 half-inch and half-inch stubby with pin detent. Again, this is the friction ring stubby. I find them to be much better when you're doing multiple sockets, especially on automotive work. That's why I got it. As you can see, I'll just read this off real quick. You have 250 foot-pounds of fastening torque and nut-busting torque. You have 4 modes, and with a auto short-off mode. And then you have 1200, 1800, 2700 with mode 1, 2, and 3 respectively, and then 1500 to 2700 in your shut-off mode. Now, shut-off mode, what that is basically hand tightening. It will shut off the impact so that when you are tightening a bolt, you're not over-tightening it, and you can actually torque it down to specs. You have 1100, 1200, and 3200 IPM. Of course, that is modes 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Has a length of 4.9 inches and a weight of 2.1 pounds. So let's get her open. This is probably one of my most respective. I'm so excited right now. This really is, that's probably the word I'm looking for, most exciting review that I've been wanting to do for any Milwaukee tool, past or present. So let's get her open. Of course, we're flashing the Milwaukee hardline knife. Go check out my review on it. Love it. As you can see, just get her open. It's like Christmas all over again, guys. Out of the box, you got your information. As you can see, all your little articles, and you got your stubby impact. And oh my god, look at her. I think I'm trembling here. Oh, this thing is super light, super compact. Right off the bat, only thing I don't like is that I can see my finger doing trigger control and going up there and blocking the light. I mean, it's smaller than my hand, this impact. You do have the mold functions right up here. 1, 2, 3, and you have the auto right there. Great grip. I really like it in the hand so far. On lock, Lock is in the middle. A little loose, but not that bad. Forward and reverse. You have the flat back. This is all rubber overmolded right here. You have two rubber overmolds right here as well. And your battery goes on the bottom. And let's do this right now. And as you can see the indicator right here. I do like the belt clip. It's very small and it won't get in the way. Sometimes they're really big, but you can also take it off. And it looks like you can put on either side if you're lefty or righty. Let's put them down here. And we'll go to the stubby protective boot, and we'll do an install right now on this. Just crack her open. And as you can see, this will protect your stubby impact from dirt and grime. The reason why I'm a big advocate for this is because this will help you out a lot more with keeping the longevity of the tool. I've had impact wrenches where they will get super dirty, super filthy, and you know they're meant to get like that, but it destroy the tool over a long period of time, because the greases and everything else will seep into the plastic hard body. Sooner or later will find their way in there, and it's just gonna wear down your tool faster. So this is going to be a tight fit. I mean, what you're going to want to do is try to get the front part in first. I believe is how it's supposed to go. And you do have to work it around your tool. This is why I haven't done the battery yet, because this is going to be a tight fit, and then you got to slide it over the back here, which thank God they made it flat, because I don't think you would be able to get it on or get as tight of a fit as possible. And there you go. You just have to work it in, and as you can see, you still have some problems here. You got to get that clip underneath there. And just work it in. Get your knife and like pry it in there a little bit. And you'll see some culprits here. See? The bolt will get caught up there. You might have to take this off just to get it like a real tighter fit, but as you can see, it protects everything. You have your opening here, you have this here. So I'll be back, take this off real quick. If I oh nope, it doesn't look like that. We're able to get that in. So that's what the stubby impact looks like. You have with the boot, you have the fuel brushless on the front, on the back I mean, Milwaukee on the side here, and it's ready for work. So let me get a battery, a fresh, nicely charged battery for this, and we'll see what this guy can do. Okay guys, we are back. We just unboxed our Milwaukee stubby impact. We have a fresh 2 amp hour battery that slides in and out nicely. As you can see, full bars, freshly charged. We have a 22mm socket. We're going to take these lug nuts off of my Dodge Ram. They're 135 foot-pounds. We'll see if this guy can do it, and then we're going to do an extreme test in 1 second. Let's first see if we can get these lug nuts off. Like nothing. So, what's this extreme test I was talking about? Since we got these lug nuts off, this is a 1/2 inch 35mm socket. We're going to take the axle nut bolt off because I'm doing some work underneath the truck. So let's see if this bad boy can handle it. And it will. As you can see, an axle, it's a little corroded. That bolt is off right there. So if you guys need to take the axle nut off, bolt off, you can use your stubby. It'll take a little while, but it will work. Let's try this. And as you can see, doing all those nuts and the axle bolt, we're down to 1 bar. Well, not 1 bar. We killed 1 bar, so we still have 3 bars on there. Alright, so the only thing I want to see, how bad the wobble is. You do have a little wobble, but it's not that bad. As you can see, you have the light there. This is great. I mean, great little impact. So let me give you guys my final review in just a moment. Okay guys, we're back in the garage, and let's talk about my experience with the M12 M12 stubby. Wish they did make this in an M18. Rigid has just came out with, I think, their version in the M18. I would love to try it, but let's talk about this M12 stubby 1/2 inch friction ring. This I can't sing any more praises with. This is one of the best impact wrenches you can own and buy, probably on the market. I've used the Rigid, as you can see. I got the big boy back here. This is the Milwaukee Fuel 1/2 inch. That's Gen 1, not Gen 2, but that's 1,200 foot-pounds. This is 250 foot-pounds, and that is about 600 foot-pounds. This, for the compact size of it, it's just a beast. It's amazing. I mean, I used to go for the Rigid all the time, and I love that Rigid. Don't get me wrong, but everything I used to go for was with the Rigid. Before I had the Milwaukee, not before I had the Milwaukee, but when I did the Milwaukee. And I kind of fucked up because that thing's a beast. We'll do some reviews on these two. But that guy is... If you have a bolt, that will take off anything. But I've also destroyed bolts with that guy. So the Rigid, I used to go for all the time. But now, I've been going for this guy. Anytime I do lug nuts. I did the axle bolt with this. You saw that in the video. We did lug nuts, 130 foot-pounds. The axle nut was 250 foot-pounds. It was right where this was supposed to be. It has exceeded my expectations with extensions, with swivel bolts, you know, swivel sockets with extensions, fitting in the compact areas, taking off the bolts for the for suspension parts, for rack and pinion bolts. Just about anything I've put this up against, it has, you know, taken it off, no problem. Maybe a little struggle here and there, but I mean, it's just an animal. I mean, as you can see,
You know, I got the boot on there, but still you can have some, you know, some dirt here and on the uh on the red. That was bright red, now it's, you know. Let's just do a comparison. It was that red here, now it's that dark red, almost like a maroon from all the brake dust and grease. But it has held up the past 6 months. I reach for this for the first time. I bring this with my in my truck for my roadside emergency impact. So I almost knocked over my camera because I just love this thing. The switch, as you can see, is holding up. I mean, I've heard some stories of water getting into there, but you know, I haven't dumped this into a container of fluid or anything like that. So far so good. I've had, like, in all honesty, it's has met or exceeded my expectations. I highly recommend, if you're a DIY weekend warrior, you know, doing your own auto mechanic stuff on the weekends, get this. This is what you want. I just love it. I think I got this for probably less than 150, I want to say. It was one of those Acme Tool deals, and it was back when I used to get free, it was no tax. So it was like like under 150, no tax. So it was great. Now, you know, I can't get that anymore. So, I mean, if you see a deal on Home Depot a couple months ago, they had one where this was I want to say 215 or 225 with a 2, a 4. It was the kit with the 2, the 4, and it gave you a free 6, and that's where you want this to be at. That way you have a range of batteries with it. I mean, I haven't really used it with the 2 too much. I like for this application, I like having the 4 or the 6 in it. But LED's bright, as you can see. You know, the LED lens case has darkened from just dirt, but it's nice and bright still. I mean, even when I'm at like 2 here, I'll get probably another month out of this, just from randomly taking off other items. I even use this for my mower blades, hard to reach areas. Like I said, I've done the entire suspension on my car, ripping apart the axle, the lower and upper bowl joints, so I had to take those bolts off. And it fits. It's not like the rigid where you're gonna have to use a couple extensions to get there, and hopefully it fits, because just look at, I'll pull it over here, just look at the size comparison between the rigid and that. I mean, you're going to be able to fit this anywhere. And for a better measure, the size comparison between these guys. I mean, it's literally half the size of this M18 1200 inch-pound impact. And some people might go, why do you have a 9 on it? I like the 9 actually on this. It's just a heads up. If you guys have any questions, I like having the 9 on that because it really balances it out, because it's super heavy on top. But back to the M12 impact, I can't sing the praises any louder than I can. It is just the perfect tool. It really is my go-to impact now. Like, I might have some other impacts, like I have the Bosch Freak I use, but that's mostly for indoor stuff. I like using that for, you know, when you're inside and you're doing screws and you run into some lag bolts. I like using that. But when it comes to automotive, mower blades, anything outside, even probably deck work, you could probably use this for. I love it. I love how it's angled, so when you're at the wheel. The handle is out. You're not having the problem that I sometimes have with the rigid, where the battery will hit your tire. You might scratch it up, and you don't have to worry about that problem. I love the angled head on it. So when you are flush with an item, pull out a socket here, the axle nut. As you can see, you're angled back. So I love that feature. Fits any M12 battery. We have another 4 here. You know, the only problem I would say on all the M12 stuff is this. Again, 2 bars. But yeah, the only problem I have sometimes is that the battery gets caught, because you gotta really press in these batteries to pull it out. But awesome little gun impact. I can't get enough of it. And soon we're probably gonna have another one in the stock with this. But I love this 1/2 inch. A lot of people will say get the 3/8. I find the 1/2 inch works for me better. I work with a lot of bigger sockets. My truck is a 22 lug nut. It's hard to find a 22 and a 3/8. They do make it, but it's really expensive, and it's just cheaper to go 1/2 inch. Same thing with the Challenger. The bolts are 22, and most 3/8 only go up to a 21 maybe. So I'd rather just go with a 1/2 inch. That's you know, my situation. Yours might differ, and everyone's different. You know, some people will only want a 3/8 in this, and that's fine. Just in my business and my work ethic and all the jobs I have to do, the 1/2 inch works perfectly for me. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I need a 3/8, and I do have an adapter where it's a 1/2 inch to 3/8, and I will use, I actually have this impact set I got from Cobalt. I'll use this guy for my 3/8, and I'm all set. And then I've used it actually with this. I think it was missing a 13mm somehow, and the 3/8 set had it, so I used my adapter, and I used my 3/8 adapter with the 13, I think, or an 18. It was one of those two with this, and it worked great. So can't sing praises of this anymore. If I kept on going on, it would just be rambling. I probably am rambling right now for almost 11 minutes. So till then, that's my thoughts. I love this thing. It really is the best impact I feel from the tool companies. How about that? I haven't tried, you know, Ingersoll Rand or Matco tools or anything like that, you know, but I'm not going to spend, you know, why spend $500 on the kit for a Matco for the rest, you know, for their impacts and all this stuff, while this guy is, you know, $250 and it's half the price. You know, about that, I think. It's like $250 or $260, so, I mean, a little expensive, but you can get deals on this with free batteries. So that's my thoughts. Sticking to it. So like, comment down below. Let me know if you have the stubby impact. What's your feelings on it? How you're liking it? All that jazz. You know, let me know. I mean, if you have any problems, I've heard some problems with this. I've seen it on Coon Trucking and some other YouTube channels where they've been saying that they've been having problems with the M18 or M18 or M12 impacts, either with the batteries down here where this battery piece breaks off. But I've been putting this to the test, and I don't know how you're breaking these unless you're dropping the batteries. But maybe, you know, maybe because you're in a cold shop, you know, different weather, the plastic's not up to, you know, up to caliber. But I love it. And like every man, you gotta hit it twice. Also love the whatchamacall. I forgot to mention the auto tighten. I use that all the time. I tighten down my bolts, but I totally forgot about that. When you are doing it, you really have to go slow. You have to use the trigger and go really slow, and you'll get it just about up to, or just about as tight as possible with your, that's, you know, possible with your hand. If you just squeeze the trigger like that, you're going to cause a impact, which will stop the trigger. And I've noticed that a lot of times. You really do have to slowly, you know, get really slow and take your time. It'll go on and tighten as far as it can go onto the lug nut, or whatever fastener you need to go. Will go all the way onto that screw or lug, or whatever your you know, your heart desires. It will get to the it will bottom out better. Whereas this, you'll keep on having stops. That's the only thing I've noticed. So, and let me know if you had those problems too. If maybe that's a solution if you guys haven't noticed. I mean, the only time I've noticed anytime with these batteries actually falling out was the hacksaw. But the hacksaw, when you're having it like that, you kind of sometimes squeeze and you push, and where your hands are, you are letting go, and then pop. And then all of a sudden, you're halfway through a cut, and the thing won't cut. You know, you're screwed, because now you got to pop the battery back in and start the cut and get back to where you were. So, I keep on rambling. So let me finish this video right now. Like I said, loved it. Let me know in the comments section below. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, we always do, you know, tool reviews, tool deals, you know, my thoughts and opinions, blah, blah, blah. So, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, guys, keep on trucking. Hope you guys are staying safe out there with this COVID and everything like that. And your families are in my prayers. Have a good one, guys. Till the next one. Peace.